Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making the Adrella top. Most of you have seen it on my Instagram. I wore it, I got very good feedback about it. I made a written pattern for it, had a few testers who tried this top and the results were really amazing. So for those who want to purchase the pattern, it's available on my Etsy shop and also Ravelry. So today we are going to be learning how to make it. Video form. I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process of how to make this top, and I'm going to be using the color yellow, and the yarn that I'm going to be using is Winterking. It's a 4-ply acrylic yarn, so if you have anything around that then it could work. Then I'm also going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a darning needle to weave in all the ends. And then also you will need one stitch marker. I'll be letting you know what to use it for when the time comes for it. But for now, let's jump into the video. So to start off our project, you're going to grab your 4mm crochet hook and then your yarn. And you're going to start off with a chain of 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So from here you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, so not this one but this one. You go in there with a single crochet and then double crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, and double crochet into the last. So this is what you have. You should be having a total of 4 stitches. So from here you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet into the first stitch. We're going to start increasing our work. So single crochet, double crochet into the same stitch, and single crochet into the same stitch. So that's how we increase. And then you're going to double crochet into the single crochet into the double crochet into the single crochet, which is the last stitch. So we only increase at the beginning of the row, not at the end. So from here you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to do the same exact thing as we did for row 2. So into the very first stitch you're going to place 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and 1 single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and 1 single crochet, all in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the single crochet, 1 single crochet into the double crochet, 1 double crochet into the single crochet, 1 single crochet into the double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the very last stitch. So from this point you should be noticing that every single crochet gets 1 double crochet and every double crochet gets 1 single crochet. The only difference is at the beginning. The moment you get the beginning right, then that means you just keep alternating between the 2 stitches. So I'm going to go on and I keep working this until I have my 18 rows ready, and now we're going to start creating the bust coverage. So from row 18 I'm going to chain a total of 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have my 25 chains, and this should we are creating, the top is supposed to go around our rib cage towards the back side of our top. So make sure whatever chain that you do, it shouldn't be very short or too long, because we want to leave some space for the lacing up of the strap at the back. So I have my 25 chains, and also you have to make sure this number is an odd number. So you're going to go into the second chain from the hook with a single crochet, double crochet into the next, single crochet, and we are going to keep alternating between the two stitches across our chain. Okay, I'm placing my last stitch into my very last chain before I get to the body of the top, and this is a double crochet. So I've placed my double crochet, and remember we end our rows with a double crochet, so that means this double crochet on the body of the top gets a single crochet like that, and then you're going to continue to alternate between the two stitches across your top. This time we are not going to have any increases. This is what you should have, and now we are making it across our top. So we're going to end our row with a double crochet, just like we've been doing before. You have your double crochet there into the last stitch, and we're going to make the same chain as we made on this side. If you had 25, you're going to make sure you make 25 chains. If you had 31, you're going to make sure you have 31 chains on the opposite side. So let me go ahead and chain my 25. So I have my 25 chains, and I'm going to go into the second chain from the hook, which is this one, and I place my single crochet, then double crochet into the next, and keep alternating between the two stitches all the way across. And by across I mean you're going to go all the way to this side, to the end of this. So we're going to create that bust coverage in form of a rectangle. So I'm getting onto the body of the top, and you can see the last chain is supposed to get a double crochet. Then the very first chain on the body of the top gets a single crochet because it was a double crochet before. And then double crochet into the single crochet. The single crochet stitches are shorter and the double crochet stitches are longer. That's how you can differentiate them. So from now onwards, we are going to just keep all, we're just going to be making plain rows of the griddle stitch. And keep in mind every row starts with a single crochet and ends with a double crochet. We're just going to be going back and forth. No increases, nothing, no decreases. So I want to show you what happens on this side. So you'll notice that these were 18 rows, and right now we are on row 20. And row 20, you'll notice that one side has one row, but the second side has 2 rows. That was intended. If you see something like this, don't be very frustrated. It will dissolve into the whole project as we keep on working the several rows. I just didn't want to cut my yarn and keep reattaching it to create more loose ends. So I went with this approach, and as you work your project, this will cease to be visible. I will show you what I mean by that when I've worked enough rows so that the whole imbalance dissolves into the project. So I'm on my very last stitch, and I'll place my double crochet, chain 1 and turn, and we're going to keep repeating that. We start our row with a single crochet into the double crochet, and then double crochet into the single crochet, and keep alternating between the 2 stitches all the way across. When you get to this point, chain 1, turn, do the same exact thing until you have a total of 35 rows. So for me, this is row 20. That means I have to do a total of 15 more rows to get to 35, but do what's best for you to get your desired coverage for your bust. So I'm going to get off camera and I keep working this row until I have a total of 35 rows right from the beginning of my project until somewhere around here, and then I'll be back to show you how to do the next step of this project. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of row 35. And I've just placed my last stitch there. Now we have this going on. We have the bust coverage, If you're a bigger size and you want to cover up more, then I would advise you do some more rows, maybe up to row 40. But this is enough for a size small to medium. So from here, we are going to start creating our straps. So you're going to get your stitch marker. I have mine here, and I'm going to fold over my work into two. Make sure you identify the exact middle of your work. So when I fold over my work, I have my middle stitch here. You're going to mark it there, or if you prefer to count the stitches and find the exact middle, that's really up to you. I've marked the middle stitch. So you're going to chain one and turn your work, and this time you're going to work over 6 stitches only. So 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, those are 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have a total of 6 stitches, 3 single crochets and 3 double crochets. We are still alternating between the double crochet and the single crochet. We're still going with the flow of the stitch texture. So from here you're going to chain 1, turn, 1 single crochet into the first double crochet, 1 double crochet into the single crochet, and repeat this across for a total of 6 stitches. So every row starts with a single crochet and ends with a double crochet. That's what you should keep in mind, and I'm going to keep repeating this until I have the strap that I want. For my top, I did a total of 32 rows for my strap, so I'm going to go ahead and do a total of 32, and then I'll be back to show you what to do next. So this is how your strap will start looking like. So do a total of 32 rows all together for the strap. Alright, so I have my total of 32 rows for my sleeve, and this measures about 15 inches. When fully stretched, it's about 17 inches. So that's what I have. And when you get to your desired length for your strap, you can always add or subtract depending on the fitting that you wish to have. But keep in mind that if you make it so long, the coverage goes down below your bust. So you have to make sure you do something that maintains the coverage for your bust. So after this, you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. You're going to leave a long strand for attaching, then pull through, and that's the end of the strap. And now you're going to get your darning needle and then put through this strand here, the strand that you just cut off, like that. And we are going to count a total of 9 stitches away from the stitch marker. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then into the 10th. This is the 10th. I'm going to mark it here. So you're going to bring your strap like this. Make sure it's not twisted, because when it goes to the back, it's going to be like this. Now we want to attach it at this point that we've marked. So we want to attach the very first stitch into the 10th stitch where we stopped counting. So we have 9 stitches away from the stitch marker. Then into the 10th, we are attaching this first stitch into the 10th stitch. Then the second stitch, we are going to attach for a total of 6 times because our strap has 6 stitches. Okay, so this is our 6th, and I'll do one last one into the same stitch. So this is how we attach our strap, and I'm going to go ahead and weave in this end. Just go into several stitches. Okay, so after this you're going to cut your yarn, and at this point we are done attaching our strap. This is how our work looks like that, and this is our armhole. So we're done with this side, and now we're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. So you're going to grab your yarn and your hook. You can attach your yarn here at the front, but I won't do that because I want to attach at the back. So we are going to count 6 stitches away from the very end of our bust coverage. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th, that will be a double crochet. You will attach your yarn like that, and then single crochet into that double crochet. But as we work this row, we are weaving in this tail. So let me take this away. So single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet. So we have a total of 6 stitches all together, and at this point you can cut this tail. So we are going to chain 1, turn, and we are going to continue placing 1 single crochet into each double crochet and 1 double crochet into each single crochet across for a total of 6 stitches until we have a total of 32 rows, just like we did for our first strap. Don't forget to always chain 1 at the beginning of your row, and each row starts with a single crochet and ends with a double crochet. So continue to do that, and then I'll meet you back at the end of the second strap when we are attaching it here. So I'm done with my second strap. I've done a total of 32 rows, just like we did for this one, and we are going to fold over our work like that, like this. And since this tail is now on this side, we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to count 9 stitches away from the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we are going to count 6 stitches away from this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are going to attach this here. We are doing this because now we are attaching, moving from this side towards this side, because this is where the tail was. So you're going to attach stitch to stitch for a total of 6 stitches. And as we did for the first strap, we are going to attach 2 times into the very last one, just to make it more firm. And this is what you have. And now we are going to weave in our ends. From here you're going to cut, and at this point the general shape of the top has been achieved. You can remove this stitch marker because we no longer need it. This is what it looks like. Everything is now making a lot of sense. Now we're going to turn our work to the back side, and we're going to be creating room for straps. So we're going to be creating loops at the back where we shall be tying a strap. So you're going to grab your yarn, and you're going to attach it on one side. Like that. So you're going to chain one, single crochet once into the first row, and single crochet twice into the next row. Single crochet once into the next row, single crochet twice into the next row, once into the next row and twice into the next, like that, all the way to this point here before we started the strap. So 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then the last 2 single crochets into the last row of the bust coverage. So from here you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that counts as a double crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. We are creating loops at the back. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, and repeat this all the way down. So I've placed my last double crochet into the last stitch, and this is what you should have. Now we're going to chain 1, turn our work to the right side, and we're going to place 2 single crochets into each and every chain 1 space or every box. So 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets. Repeat this all the way across until the last chain 1 space. So into the last one you'll place 3 single crochets because it's the last one and we want to maintain that straight edge. And then chain 1 and cut your yarn. Pull through. That's what we have. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side, but this time we're going to be starting off with at the top here, going down. So that we end our last row on the right side of our work. So we want to create these loops onto this opposite side. So you're going to attach your yarn into the last row of the bust coverage. So into this row, chain 1, one single crochet, 2 single crochets into the next row, 1 single crochet into the next row, 2 single crochets, and you're going to repeat that all the way down. So we are basically doing the same exact thing as we did on the other side. you should end with 1 single crochet. Now you're going to chain 4, turn your work, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, and continue to do the mesh stitch all the way across. So you should make sure the number of boxes that you have here is the same as the number on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that means the number of single crochets was more on this side, but that doesn't matter because I have 1 more stitch left. So I'll just go into the last stitch to make sure that I have 10 on both sides. So I'll chain 1 and turn my work to the right side, and I'll do 2 single crochets into each box. And into the last one, we are going to do a total of 3 single crochets. Then you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. Now from this point, we are going to make a very long chain of about 300 chains. Just make a very simple chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 300. All I know, it has to be really long. It could be 250 to 300 chains. This is the one that we are going to be using to lace up the back of our top. And since you saw the loops are many, there are 10 loops. That means the chain has to be quite long, unless if you want to skip a few spaces while lacing it up. So I have my chain ready. Now I'm going to bring back the top. You're going to turn it to your back side, to the back side. Okay, like that. And then bring your chain and we are going to lace it up. I don't know which one you prefer, either to lace it up from the top towards the bottom or from the bottom towards the top. I'll do from the top towards the bottom. So you're going to put it through the very first loop that you created at the top. You're going to make sure they are even. And now we are going to start lacing it up. I'll be skipping one box. So I'll skip the next and then go into the next with, I'm just lacing it up like a shoelace. So from one side to the other. Okay. Just skip one box, go into the next. And then when you come to the end, I have only one box left on each side, so I'll just put it through the very last box. Okay, So this is what you should have. After this, you can tie the strap. Now the only thing left is to weave in all your ends, and I'm going to do that. Alright, so now that we finished weaving in all our ends, our top is neat and ready to wear. And when you turn it to the right side, we have this. This is what it looks like, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned for the next tutorial, which will be transforming this top into the Adrella top with sleeves. I first wanted to make this because it was highly requested as compared to the one with sleeves. So in my next tutorial we shall be doing the one with sleeves, and it will just be an addition to this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see you again in my next video, and also to see the recreations of this Adrella. Make sure you tag me in your recreations of the Adrella top, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.